Thanks for checking out our video. We have some exciting content for you today. We sat down and had a Zoom interview with another intercultural couple, the Prasanth family. So we spoke with Margaret and Prasanth. They have their own YouTube channel that was started not too long ago, but they already have over 60,000 views and 1,500 subscribers.
Yeah, go subscribe to their YouTube channel. It's called The World of an Adventure. I'm pretty sure you'll like all their content. It's really exciting.
So in this video, they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, and then we also talk about some of the obstacles that we've faced as intercultural couples. Specifically, do we live in America? Do we live in India? Where do we have our wedding? How do we raise our kids?
Margaret and Prasanth have been together for 12 years and have a beautiful daughter named Alaika. It was an exciting interview, and I hope you guys like it as well.
Feel free to subscribe to our channel and leave us a like. And provide any comments on other questions you want us to answer or any other couples you think would be interesting to interview.
Yeah. Enjoy the video.
Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today. We're really excited to ask you some questions and to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you guys meet?
So I'm originally from Mississippi, born and raised in Mississippi. We moved to New York almost 2 years ago. And tell where you're from.
I'm from India, the southern border, like Kerala. And we met while we were in Kuwait.
So yeah, we were both working in Kuwait as civilians, as contractors for the U.S. Army. I was working as a nurse there for the company as the occupational health nurse, and he was working as a personal trainer for the same company. And then he got injured on the job one day, and his supervisor said, "Oh, you have to fill out a work injury report. You have to go see the nurse." And he didn't want to do that. So, but anyway, she forced him to come see me. And so that's how we originally met. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you guys decide to move to India or in US rather than going to India? Like, how did you decide?
No, actually we did. We looked to look at her profession, like we can find a job related to that. And in India, we couldn't find anything. We emailed a few guys at the the hospital management.
Yeah, we looked at like U.S. Embassy, any place that I could speak English, and it just wasn't available. And at the time, I had finished my nurse practitioner degree, so I was kind of looking for a job as a nurse practitioner. And nurse practitioners in India work a little bit different than they do in the US. I don't think they're able to prescribe medicines. From what I was told from like a hospital there, nurse practitioners work kind of like a charge nurse. They're just kind of in charge of the unit or whatever. So it wouldn't have been what I was looking for. Yeah. And then we just couldn't find anything that would have been English speaking. So yeah, we looked to move there first. We looked at India and the US to see, what would be the best. And US just was a better option because obviously he can speak English. And I thought he probably would be able to get a job. Okay. It ended up taking him a while to find a job. How long? Over a year?
Over waiting for the paperwork. Yeah.
It took
me like 8 months, I think. It took me 5 months to get the paperwork, like the work visa and stuff, and then another 3 months to find a job.
And I think we're in small town Mississippi, so if they saw his resume and his name and all his work history is in India, they're like, who is this guy? I think they were probably a little hesitant to hire somebody like him. And so
it all turned out good though.
Yeah, I said, I think you're just going to have to go in person and just show up to a place. And that's what he did. Like, we picked a gym and he went in and asked for the manager and just started talking to them. And he's like, yeah, we're not ready to hire yet. Come back in a few months. I told Prasanth, I was like, no, you go back every week. Let him see your face. Let him know you're serious, because he'll forget about you when it comes time to hire. He'll forget about you. So he started going like every week for a few times.
The second or third time, he's like, yeah, I'll set you up with the owner. And then like we had like a long interview. I remember Mr. Chuck like talked to me for 2 hours about like full history, and he was like an experienced man in that business field. So he good. He gave me a chance, and it was all good from there.
Also, we have not met any other Indian American couples. So, you know, talking to other couples about like the issues we've gone through, like with visas or green cards, or like telling your parents that you're dating a white girl or something like that. Like we don't, like, no one gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had that issue too. And that was something we talked about because I grew up raised in the church, Southern Baptist, so a very strong Christian background, and my family, yeah, that would have been a big deal. So that was something we talked about, like, is this something that's going to work? Because the way I was raised as a Christian, you don't marry someone from another religion, because in the end it's probably not going to work out because there's just too much conflict.
Would you say that your family gave you more slack about this then? Or was it equal, or?
I don't know. No.
They didn't give much, but they were concerned though about, you know, somebody from another country is coming, or is he coming for a green card, or is it real? Is it a solid relationship? Or...
Well, we agreed from the beginning, we weren't going to argue about religion. I wasn't going to force him to become Christian. He wasn't going to force me to become Hindu. That's just off the table. We're not going to, you know, if things get heated, we're not going to argue about religion. That's not.
The first time when it came into our conversation, she said she cannot marry anybody outside the religion. The first time when we were, you know, when we were dating, but it's all changed after, you know, conversations, it's all changed.
The only time I had worked or been around Indians was in Kuwait, and they would tell me stories about people disowning their family if they didn't get an arranged marriage or it wasn't approved by their family. They would disown them, and they wouldn't have anything to do with them anymore. So that's what I thought was going to happen. So I asked him, I said, what is your family going to think about that? And what'd you say? They're pretty liberal. You know, they want him to be happy. He told me that he had always wanted a love marriage. He didn't want an arranged marriage. He had told his family that from little, I guess. Yeah. So maybe they always had that in the back of their mind, that he was never gonna go with an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad with our situation when we explain things to
I think his family took it better than mine.
Yeah,
I think
probably. Yeah. My mom wasn't very happy though. You know, she was like, "Are you just going to US? Like you just moving away, or she's going with a girl?"
She cried a lot. He would call her every weekend, and she just cried the whole time. I feel like, and it was so sad hearing her cry. But she thought he would never come home. People would tell his parents, "Oh, he's going to move to the US and he'll never come back and visit you."
That's even after we moved like to US. You know, after our wedding and everything, people would still come and say like, "Oh, he's gone. He's not going to come back and see you guys." Nothing. You know, nobody people like move to US. They're not going to come back. So they always like give a hard time. Even like, you know, people that they know, they would say it, but that's all. That's all in the past now.
Yeah, I think that got in their head. So that's what made them unhappy, I think.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to introduce him to American holidays. Like he came home for Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter. So do you guys get to blend your holidays at all?
Yes.
As used to, and in Mississippi, like we get to do all the family get-togethers pretty well with her family.
Yeah, the whole family gets together for Christmas. Yeah, that was
Thanksgiving and everything.
All new for you.
Yeah, that's all new for me. You know,
they don't
we don't do any of
presents
that. Like, even like in India, I don't think like we do as like the gift that they do here. That it's nothing like that. The Christmas is entirely different.
And for birthdays and everything too. So especially after Aleka was born, doing Christmas with her, because that's different once you have a kid to do the Christmas traditions and things. But yeah, we do some of the Indian traditions here.
Prashant, was this the first time you came to America when you came with Margaret, or have you been?
Yes, that was my first. The first time I had no clue what it was kind of like, other than watching in movies. So coming to Mississippi, like I would say the biggest shock was the airport. The first thing when we landed, there wasn't anybody there. Like airport was the first thing, and then from the airport to her parents' home, we were through a I-20 highway, and it was like around like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was looking down to see like, is there like tall buildings or anything like that we see in the movies? There's nothing, just trees. Finally, like after 30 minutes, I asked a sister, where do you guys live? Like in the woods or something? Like we've been trying for 30 minutes. Like it's just only trees that I see.
Nothing around.
Nothing around. So that was a lot of big surprises like that. Like what do you think what the US is, and then you come here.
Completely different.
Completely different. Same like India, most of the people like would see like some slumdog millionaire or something, and they'd be like, oh, do you guys have electricity there? It's the same situation. Like you would think like it's all like heavy building, and but it's not. There is a lot of green land, and it's
and
pretty
for me going to India, his airport, I still hate it. Because the first time I'm pushing the little cart with our luggage and I go out and he's ahead of me. So it's like I'm walking by myself, and you go out, the doors open, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of Indians staring at you. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, she never expected that. She was like,
it scared me to death.
Yeah, she was like, why is all those people here? What they doing here? I was like, this is how it is. They're just it's
like 3 a.m. and there's hundreds of people everywhere. I'm like, that would never happen in America.
Yeah, that was the biggest shock for me.
You might have 1 or 2 family members that come to pick you up from the airport, but there were so many people there in India.
Like, the airport that we flew in, like, it's always like so many people, like, Trivandrum, it's a lot of people outside. So that was a big shock for her. She was like, what's going on here? Why is there so many people here? I was like, you guys don't have these people at the airport.
And now I know, like, I know where those doors are. So I always get nervous walking up to those doors. I'm like, oh no, here it comes.
How did you find the food in India, Margaret? Like that?
Do you like spicy food?
Not really. It's a struggle. His family, his sister usually makes special meals for me that I can eat. Or that they know I like. So she knows I like shrimp or fish, like fried fish, not so much of the curries. So his sister works hard when we're there.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Because she cooks for the family, and then she cooks a separate meal for me. And then I have to cook a separate meal for Aleka because she doesn't eat it either. But yeah, it's
a struggle. Like food is a struggle. Like she get tired of it within 2 or 3 weeks. I
feel hard. Like a lot of it tastes the same to me. Like the home food tastes very similar to me, so I can't continue to eat it every day.
All the different dishes that we make, it's different for us, like when we mix it with the different things, but for her it's kind of like the same.
So did you guys end up having a wedding in the States, or did you have one in India? Did you do both of them, or?
We had it in the US. So we did kind of a mix. We had the wedding in our home. I didn't want like a church wedding. I thought that would be very uncomfortable for him. And so we just did a very small wedding with my family there. His family wasn't able to come. And then we didn't travel to India for a while after that. So it was kind of, we've been married for so long now. Why are we going to have an Indian wedding? We've been married too long. So we just did the American wedding.
And then at that time, like if you go there and get married, it's going to be in the newspaper and stuff. I didn't want that. I was like, no.
He's like, he said, there'll be thousands of people there. I'm like, no.
It's going to be a big deal. Like when you invite everybody, it's going to be a lot of people, and then it's going to be in the newspaper like, oh, this man.
Yeah, he was like, especially with you being a white girl, people are going to be interested in that. So everybody's going to come.
Because Sohan and I have talked about this, because there are no proposals in India, right? It's not like you ask the girl beforehand, and then there's like, because in America, there's the engagement, and then you wait like a year or 2 before the actual wedding, right? So how did you guys end up spacing that out? I guess if you had the 90-day
Yeah, like
visa, then you're just
When did we get engaged? How did that work?
Um,
I don't even remember.
I didn't. I didn't. I
I
didn't
forget
really.
so much.
Yeah, I didn't really like ask her like.
So I think
with
I
the
told him
engagement thing, yeah.
we get a ring. You're supposed to give me a ring.
Yeah. So I just bought that.
So yeah, he was like, what kind of ring? What am I supposed to buy? So we went and picked out a ring.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know, how did you give it to me? Because I had already seen it.
No, we gave it to at the wedding and put that on it.
But yeah, we didn't have like you didn't get down on one knee
Mm-mm.
kind of thing. He didn't do
I didn't
that.
know.
Yeah.
I learned out after I came here.
And I wasn't one to have that big,
Yeah.
big blow up. Oh, you got to get down on the knee and propose. I didn't care. So yeah, we just bought the ring together and
Yeah.
he held it until we got married.
Mhm. I didn't know any of that. Like you had to propose and just get on the knee and ask the girl. I didn't know none of that until I got here. So that was different.
oh, Prasanth, what happened to your mustache?
Uh, usually, like
I hated the mustache.
when we did, where did you see that? Like on that one
On
of the
our
videos?
pictures. On our
Yeah.
It's on your YouTube. The first two pictures, I'm like, he has a mustache. And then as you see, he comes to America, no
goes
mustache.
away.
I'm
Oh.
like, Margaret definitely told him to
Yeah, I was like, I want to see what you look like without the mustache.
So that's when we were in Kuwait. Before we even come here, like when we were dating, she was like, I want to see you without it. Because I sent her like a picture of me without a mustache in one of the pictures. That's the only time I shaved
So
when
much
I was in
better.
India. And she's like, that looks better. I want to see you. And then like finally one day I agreed to do it and then I never went back. I do grow like every now and then, but it's
Thank
just not
God.
like I
It's
shave.
too much. Like
Yeah.
it's just too much.
I was in college, they will pick on you if you you shave it.
They did pick on you when you shaved
Yeah,
it.
the first time.
Yeah, when we go back to India, he always tries to grow that thing back every time.
Yeah.
I'm like, please shave that thing. He's like, no, it's just for India. I'm like, please shave it. So one of the last time we went,
Uh-huh.
he had the mustache we always do family pictures right before we leave India. So he grew the mustache out and took half of our photos with the mustache. Then he went and shaved it off real fast.
And did the other half because my dad was telling me like I haven't seen you with your mustache in a while. So I was like, okay, let me grow it and we'll take some pictures. That's how I did it. So I grow while I was there, and then we took all the pictures and then like shaved it on, and the rest of the pictures we took without it.
Yeah, thank you guys again. It was great getting
Yeah, if you
chat
guys
with
are in-
It was fun.
If you guys come down to NC, you guys are welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to meet up if you're coming that way. Same here, like if you guys traveling to this way, just let us know.
Yeah, especially if you're back in Pennsylvania.
I hope you all enjoyed our conversation with the Prasanth family today.
If you like the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.